Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 108 of the Walking Dead TV podcast. I'm Jordan from Jersey, and I'm joined tonight by Aaron North and Jim Dietz. How y'all doing?
I'm here.
Hey everybody, happy Zombie New Year, and I think I said that last time though, but
You get two
still
Zombie
happy
New Year to celebrate the,
Well, you have the
the Orthodox and then
Zombie
regular.
New Year, and then you have the Jewish Zombie New Year.
Yeah.
And pretty soon we'll have the Chinese Zombie New Year. It's awesome.
I celebrated Zombico while I was in
Russian
Africa.
Orthodox.
We're a very multicultural zombie podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to preview a little bit of the upcoming season, talk about a contest, talk about some different Walking Dead and zombie-related stuff from around the net, and generally just goofing off. So, first off, let's talk about our sponsor, DCBService.com. That's DCBService.com, a direct comic book service. You can go to that website, you can get comics, graphic novels, and other comic book-related merchandise for super deep discounts, 50% off the new Marvel and DC trades and hardcovers. There's tons of Walking Dead stuff, tons of Avengers stuff, Justice League stuff. If it's nerdy, if it's comic book-related, and if you want to get it for cheap, you can almost certainly get it from DCBService.com. They've been our sponsor for a really long time. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you go and check them out, because they're awesome.
Sounds good to me.
So, we got a new trailer for The Walking Dead Season 4.5, I guess you could call it, the second half of the fourth season. And you guys all watched it, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And in this trailer, it's kind of a trailer/featurette, we get some new glimpses of the second half of the season with the creative forces behind the show talking about what we're going to see for the different characters. Was there anything in this trailer that stuck out to you as particularly interesting? I generally like the tone of it, but there was a lot going on.
I mean, AMC always cuts a good trailer when it comes to The Walking Dead. I never complain in that aspect. And I mean, I can't say it was really spoilers just because all the main players are featured, and I wasn't really expecting anyone to be like, oh, he died, never mind. Like,
You just died off panel,
off screen,
in between episodes.
I think sometimes in the trailer they tend to like do the cuts that kind of mislead us in some ways, especially if we're kind of looking at the trailer, trying to figure out where they're going with it. I didn't really see that in this trailer. It just seemed very cut and dried, showing which groups kind of have congregated together, as it were. I guess in the first few episodes, I would imagine. But
And I think there was only like one line pretty much in it, which was Carl saying, I saved you to someone, presumably Rick. So there wasn't a whole lot of like, who's this person talking to, who are they referring to, who are they fighting? It's a lot of different shots of individuals fighting zombies, which is what we want from the show for the most part. So the trailer looked good. Rick is rocking a really big beard now, which is kind of awesome. And we get to see, I think the coolest shot probably in the trailer is just the two little girls whose names I've already forgotten, but facing away from the camera, kind of walking down some train tracks. It's just kind of a weird, haunting shot, so I like that. But Carl, Aaron, you were saying that Carl looks like he's already grown a couple inches since the mid-season break.
Yeah, he looks even older. Like, come on, this guy needs to start shaving just as much as Rick does, it seems.
I don't know quite about that, but
I'm not saying he's not shaving. I don't know. Y'all go for double negative to prove my points.
the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence, is I believe the adage.
I'm trying to remember last year's mid-season break, and if there was, I assume there was obviously some sort of trailer for what was going on. But I mean, the break, it ended with Merle and Daryl about to face off to the death or whatever. That was like the cliffhanger of last season.
I mean, I remember seeing it was like shots of them running away from Woodbury and explosions, and there definitely was something because there was a shot in it that showed Merle and Daryl together, because I think at the end they were like about to face off, right? You said?
Yeah.
So there was a shot of them like running away from Woodbury together. So I do remember that being a thing that people were upset about, that it already kind of ruined the tension.
Because if there's one thing to do, that the mid-season opener would be Daryl killing Merle or something like that.
Well, how awesome of a mid-season opener would that be? Him just beating his brother to death.
Very, it'd be great.
sorry, little
But
brother.
that's not a show that I expect.
No, exactly. So what other Walking Dead news do we have? Well, we had this video on the Walking Dead TV podcast Facebook group, which if you're not a member of, you should go and check it out right now. Robert Nigro posted a video of a man who is known for his prank videos, apparently, and this man has no legs and one arm, more or less, and he got made up in zombie makeup by Greg Nicotero, and they set up this whole thing for him to be able to prank Norman Reedus, which is pretty fun. Luckily, it's a short video. I think people are starting to learn that if you want people to watch your video on YouTube or whatever, it needs to be under like 3 minutes, and this is like a minute 50 or something like that, or a minute, 2 minutes and 20 seconds or something. So it's a nice quick view. So if you want to see Norman Reedus possibly scream like a girl, or possibly just pull a crossbow out of zero space and kill a man just pretending to be a zombie, you'll want to check out that video. It's on the Walking Dead TV podcast Facebook group.
Does he really scream like a little girl?
I love seeing people embrace, life that way. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna have fun. Like, there's obviously, situations that led to things that are less than ideal working out. But this guy seems like I'm watching it right now. It's like this guy seems like he's clearly, embracing things for the best.
Yeah.
It's a nice positive thing.
Speaking of creepy prank videos, did you guys see the Devil Baby prank?
Yeah, I
that
did.
was going on. That was an awesome piece of engineering. Like, I don't care about whatever movie they're trying to promote with it.
You don't need to worry about it. Yeah, I'm
But
not
the
even
actual
the title.
prank, well, I don't know the title, but the actual prank and the construction behind it was really neat. Where they put this baby carriage or baby stroller out, not in the middle of the street, but like in the middle of the sidewalk, and they would play through a speaker a sound of a baby crying. When people would go over to check it out, this like kind of Chucky like evil demon baby thing would pop out and start like yelling at them, or throwing fake vomit up at them, or flipping them off. And then not only was it remotely controlled, but then also the carriage was as well, so they could like just move it around on its own. It was pretty funny.
I wish AMC would do something like that with Judith.
That's horrible, but we'll see.
Nice.
Definitely no shots of Judith in the trailer. But you said, Aaron, you thought you might have seen a
I was
maybe?
slowing. I was pausing it a lot on the shots of the girls because I thought I saw them holding a bottle at some point, or like carrying one with them, but I did not find that. But the search is on for Judith.
Hopefully it does not turn into a Where's Sophia.
Yeah, no doubt. That's just what I was going to say.
Another thing posted on the Facebook page by Craig is the guy who does an impersonation of Rick, of just his voice. Pretty spot on, I gotta say. I didn't watch the whole thing because once you see that he can do an impression, it's funny, but whatever. But man, was it a spot on impression?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good impression. Like that's pretty much all I have for that one. It's a good job.
There's not a lot to say. Either watch it or don't. But we've got new posters for The Walking Dead that are up, and those have been posted on the Facebook group as well. Various stuff about the comics as well. Nothing spoilery, or if it is, it's labeled so you don't have to click through and see it. But another thing in the Walking Deadiverse that's out is The Walking Dead Season 2 of the Telltale video game, and I've seen all of it. Aaron, I know you've played all of Season 2 that's out so far, which is the first episode. Give us your impressions.
Yeah, I can do that. People that have listened to this podcast might remember that I am a big fan of the Walking Dead video game. I was very big on Season 1, and it was my game of the year, with a big review on and everything. And so I was very much excited to play Season 2, which, the first chapter arrived late last year. And it's everything that I have been enjoying about the game so far, and even a little bit more given how things have changed. For those not familiar with the Walking Dead video game, this is not the kind of the Dixon Brothers game. This
is the good one.
Yeah, this is the Telltale point-and-click adventure game, where essentially, as opposed to kind of controlling a character and like running and gunning around for video gamers out there, it's more of you have a select number of options as you progress your character to certain situations, and you have to choose things that are dialogue-based or minor action-based that will affect how your character develops, how relationships you have with other characters in the game see you, and how they will interact with you. It's a very interactive experience that it feels like you're tailoring the character to the specifics that you're giving it. It gives you, there's a lot of instances where it gives you a limited amount of time, so you have to make very split impulse decisions, and there's a lot of kind of situations you get presented with that present you with a very morally gray line of reasoning. So you can sometimes choose to save one person or another person, and you have to really think about, like, well, how's this person helping me, or how they've been horrible to me, or whatnot. It's very clever. It's very involving. It's very engrossing. It can make you very emotional given the state of who you're playing as, the fate of certain characters, the situations you encounter. All these things really add up to an experience that's very cinematic, but yet even though the art style of the game is it's very comic booky. It very much reminds you of the actual Walking Dead comic book, and it's certainly based more in that kind of tone than the show has gone for, I would say. And with all that said, yeah, the season 2, just as I already said, it just picks up where the last one left off. You're playing as a new character. I'll just leave it at that, just kind of refrain from spoiling too much. But it certainly makes you feel very vulnerable given who you're playing as now, and given if you play season 1, your investment in this character. So it's certainly recommend, especially if you haven't played season 1, check out season 1. Season 2, I'm looking forward to seeing more from it. Obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing how they've made things played slightly differently. I can already see some of the changes they made to make the controls kind of feel not necessarily awkward, but more responsive and kind of more intuitive, I guess the best way to say it.
Well, and they've integrated some stuff from Fables: The Wolf Among Us, which is another comic book turned video game point-and-click adventure that Telltale did, which is also awesome if you have not checked that out, or if you have not checked out the Fable series of comics. If they're doing really cool stuff where they're taking what they've learned in the various series and they're implementing it to the others. And upcoming, they also have a Borderlands point-and-click adventure game and a Game of Thrones one as well. So I'm really excited for what they're doing with these titles. Did you play, Aaron, season 1's DLC, 400 Days?
Yes, I did.
I really like that, but they said it was going to tie into series 2. So far, it hasn't, right? Is that going to pop up later, I guess?
I imagine it'll pop up later. I think the first chapter in season 2 is certainly, it has to do a lot of things. It has to put you in the shoes of a new character based on those who played season 1. It has to incorporate the fact that not everyone played 400 Days. So, it has to be more of a setup chapter, and I assume down the line you'll get to how decisions from the 400 Days DLC and the previous season will factor into where season 2 is going as well.
And it jumps ahead in time, a pretty significant time, like 6 months or something
Yeah,
like that,
something like
or whatever.
For those who don't know what we're referring to, 400 Days deal, there's like basically a kind of a bonus chapter in between seasons that puts you in the shoes of several different characters, and so you basically get an introduction to characters that will most likely be seen in season 2 down the line.
Yeah, and you made a good point. It's definitely more. I thought as well. I played the first season, but I'm going to play the second season yet. I did play Wolf Among Us, and I really enjoyed that. It really definitely follows the style of the comic graphically, I think, more than trying to be photorealistic, and that's really a plus. Something else I really enjoyed about the first season, I'm pretty sure they probably carried it over, is at the end you can see who made the same choices you did as a percentage of players who played the game, and I thought that was really interesting. This is like a really old school style of making games, and I think they've really brought it into the modern game space in a cool way that is appealing to a lot of people. Obviously, I mean, the first Walking Dead chapter got a lot of acclaim and made a lot of money from it.
The best thing I can say about that, in terms of kind of the old style gameplay, is, and I might stop some people here, but I am not a fan of Myst. I know there are a lot of people that want to stick up for Myst, like one of the first kind of point-and-click kind of strategy games that was on PC and Mac, and I was not a fan of that game. And the fact that I'm just so invested in The Walking Dead and just Telltale's kind of strategy for making games in general, I think it really shows how this sort of format of gameplay has evolved and improved for me, especially because regardless of like, I can't like do crazy kill moves and stuff like I can in other games that I really enjoy. Like I'm just really invested in the storytelling present and how the kind of the choice system makes you react and stuff.
Well, and I have a soft spot in my heart for some of those classic games, like a Sam & Max Hit the Road. Of course, you like Day of the Tentacle and Monkey Island games and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are all fun actually.
Yeah, they're a ton of fun until you get to the many places in those games where unless you have a guide or just an inordinate amount of time, you're not going to get past them because the puzzles will show obtuse and opaque.
Yeah.
But you're not going to have that problem in the Walking Dead games. The puzzles that are there are simple stuff like, hey, we need batteries for the radio. Find some batteries. Oh, they're in a drawer here or whatever. It's not going to be like you need to combine the soda can and the stick of dynamite and the old Visa to make yourself a smoke bomb or something like that. There's no ridiculous puzzles like that. It's all about the story. It's all about the characters and getting in there. And they just do a phenomenal job, especially season 1 and season 2 has been no slouch either. But we just haven't gotten that full emotional payoff yet because it's only the first act. But that man, season 1, particularly the ending, it's rough in the best possible way. It is just heartbreaking in many places.
I think the thing that really appealed to me about it was, I mean, if you look at games like, I don't know, going back to like Knights of the Old Republic or the other BioWare games like Mass Effect or whatever, there's always, obviously good and the obviously bad choice. You can either choose to play good or bad, light side, dark side, or whatever. There was no obvious choice, which was the right choice. You know what I mean? And you had a split second to make the decision. I thought that was really great and cool and interesting, and it really opened up the narrative, like you said, Jordan, in a lot of ways. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of Sophie's choices. There's a lot of, like I said, just those things where do I go left or right, and that could have an impact, but it's not going to be clear what that impact is. And you got to live with the consequences or die with the consequences. But there's a lot of good stuff in there.
It's like a really well animated choose your own adventure.
Exactly.
Kind of, yeah.
I should say that The Walking Dead, there's like nowhere you can't find this. It's on PC, Mac, PlayStation, Xbox, tablets, iOS device, Androids. Like you can pretty much play this game any way you want to. So.
Coming to toasters in summer of 2014.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. It's like you can try one out for $5 if you don't like it. Don't keep going.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody. I know Brad Milo didn't enjoy the gameplay in the first season, and I know other people just don't like point-and-click adventures. That's totally fine. But if you do enjoy that type of gameplay or don't know, absolutely spend the $5 to find out with the first chapter. If you like it, keep playing. If you don't spend any more money. It's awesome.
I think the first season might even I think the first chapter might be free for
I think it is now. Yeah. But I guess the first chapter for season 2 is $5.
Yeah,
I would definitely say to anybody who hasn't played the first season, absolutely go back and play that first. There's no reason not to. There's nothing in that game that's like, oh, it would have been so good if it wasn't for X. It's really good. Is the second one like structurally better so far? Probably control-wise and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean the first season was bad. Just they made subtle improvements.
It's as much as I talk about this show and how the writing tends to be my biggest issue, the writing is the greatest strength of the Telltale Walking Dead game for me.
Absolutely. So let's also, before we get into our next little news story, reiterate that we have an awesome contest going on right now. You might not have heard it because we first announced it last week in the comic book spoilers episode, and so we want to mention it again this time. So here's the deal. Those 3 questions? That was the whole big hootenanny in the first half of the season with how many zombies have you killed, how many people have you killed, and why? Those are the 3 questions you needed to answer to determine if you could get into the prison group. Well, we want you to come up with 3 questions of your own. You can't use any of the 3 from the TV show. You have to have 3 brand new questions and email those questions to comments@walkingdeadtv.com. We are going to pick from the submissions. There have already been a lot of great ones. We'd love even more, though, because we want to give lots of chances to people stuff from our prize closet. Send in those 3 questions to comments@walkingdeadtv.com. And if you are chosen, it'll be a random drawing from all the people who submitted questions. You are going to win, or you could win if you are selected, a copy of each of the 4 Rise and Fall of the Governor books, prose novels for The Walking Dead. That's Rise of the Governor, Road to Woodbury, and Fall of the Governor, parts 1 and 2. And I believe they're all hardcover as well, but I think we have some softcover editions as well. I forget. Russ has all the information on that. That said,
it's a pretty sweet prize package.
If you win, you're getting a copy of each of the 4 books for sure. So that is an awesome prize pack. I know people are really big fans of those books, and you'll have until the first episode premieres for the second half of the season. So that will be February 9th. You'll have till February 9th to send those in, and we can't wait to read them. We'll read them on the show, and we'll pick one at random, and you could win. So in our next news story, if you are a fan of the Conan O'Brien Show on TBS, you're going to want to check out on February 6th the show because he's going to have Norman Reedus, Stephen Yeun, Lauren Cohen, Melissa McBride, Andrew Lincoln, and Denai Guerrera will all be on Conan on February 6th. He's going to have, I guess it's not technically the whole cast, but a big chunk of the cast in a whole Walking Dead themed episode. Now, I saw when they did this for Breaking Bad. Apparently, they've also done it for Workaholics. I did not see that one. And apparently, they've also done it for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I have not seen. But I'm a big fan of both Workaholics and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I like the choices Conan's making in his Let's Get the Whole Cast on a show.
Yeah, I agree. It's I don't have as much time for late night talk shows as much as I used to, but I enjoy. I try to tune in when I can when I hear those kind of things are happening, and it's always enjoyable.
It would be interesting to see them all actually bathed and not sweaty and not dirty and covered in their own blood and misery.
Or the vice versa. We take Conan, we throw him into Atlanta, and cover him in dirt and I don't know. I'm getting louder for that.
Conan's pale enough. I don't think he could survive longer than 5 minutes in Atlanta. That would be a very bad thing for skin cancer.
He was spontaneously combust. It's the curse of my people.
I agree with that.
I'm half Irish,
I thought you were going with if he could survive a zombie apocalypse. I'm like, he's a pretty lanky guy. He could be scrappy.
He could just run away, taking very long strides.
Put that
while,
out there.
while mannequin dancing.
Put that on the Facebook page. Which late night TV shows would have the best chance surviving in the realm of The Walking Dead?
Leno could stab zombies with his chin.
Craig Ferguson is wiry.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ferguson's
He's kind of wily.
Sit down with the zombies and have an honest conversation with them.
I think Colbert could adapt the best. That's wrong.
Well, Colbert also has Captain America's shield, so.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point.
So if you're a fan of Conan O'Brien and a fan of The Walking Dead, I'm assuming you're at least a fan of Walking Dead since you're listening to the show. Check it out February 6th on TBS.
Very
They
funny.
know comedy. Yeah. It's funny that we both went to their slogan, but we both went to different slogans. That is kismet, I guess would be the word. I do not speak Yiddish, so I don't really know. Hopefully I didn't say something horribly offensive. So a question that popped up on the Facebook group was, hey, I just cut my cable. How do I watch The Walking Dead? And so we thought we'd spend a few minutes talking about your options if you don't have cable for watching the show.
Duct tape, right? You just tape the cable back together.
That would theoretically work if you were very precise and maybe soldered some pieces as well.
Oh yeah, blah blah blah.
So here's the deal. In past seasons, there have actually, I think it was season 2 maybe, where I did not have cable. So what are your options? Well, number one, and the one we certainly are not recommending, you the pirate it. We don't recommend that. If you like the show, you should support it. Second, you could check out Amazon.com, where you can download episodes of television shows. You can check out, and stream them as well. You can check out iTunes, where you can do the same thing. There's also Google Play Video. I don't know if they have Walking Dead because no one uses it as far as I know. There's also like the Microsoft Video Store. Again, not really sure about that one. That used to be called Zoom Marketplace.
They do, yeah. The Microsoft Store and the PlayStation Network Store, they all supply the episodes for a small amount.
So assuming that all those other ones fit with the normal models of iTunes and Amazon, here's what you have to do. You have to A, pay for it. It's not usually that expensive. It's usually like $2 for an SD episode and $3 for an HD episode. But the only bad thing about it is, aside from that you have to pay a little bit of money, which is no really big deal, is you have to wait a little bit of time. It's not as bad as it used to be. Back in the day, we might have to wait a week before something would show up online. Now you only have to wait until about 5 a.m. EST the next day. So if it airs Sunday night at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, wherever it happens to air in your area on AMC, at 5 o'clock in the morning, so about 7 hours later, or 9 hours later, whatever it is, math was never my strong suit, you'll be able to download it from iTunes, Amazon, and presumably all those other services as well. So you might have to avoid Facebook and Twitter for a few hours if you're a spoiler phobe like I am. But aside from that, it is not too shabby of a way to view the show. And you don't have to deal with any commercials or any of that kind of that stuff because you pay for it directly. So if you don't have cable recently, or you've never had cable and you're interested in your options, those are some of the best ones. You can also do the same thing for YouTube as well. You can buy episodes of shows off of YouTube. I know I bought an episode of Breaking Bad off there before, but I'm not sure if they also do the same timetable. So the absolute last thing we had to talk about on this week's episode was, of course, a preview of next week's episode. But before we get to that, we're going to close out the episode, of course, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, you don't have to worry about it. If you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do so. 972-798-3830, 972-798-3830. Just let us know that you're calling for the Walking Dead TV podcast, because it's a network-wide voicemail number. And of course, you can send us an email, comments at walkingdeadtv.com. And of course, don't forget, enter the contest as well. Give us your 3 questions by February 9th, and you can win some awesome prizes. Check out hhwled.com for all of our great shows, like Half Hour Wasted, The Long Box of Doom, Black Box, out now, and our brand new shows like Jersey Shore, the Shield podcast, the James Bond podcast, Shaken Not Stirred, and the Ichabod Cranecast with our good friend Aaron North. Aaron, what can you tell us about the show?
For people that have been watching Sleepy Hollow on Fox, they should know that it just ended with the season finale last week, and we did our episode, the Ichabod Cranecast, for that 2-part season finale. But I do want to mention that because that show's ending for now, we are planning on starting a show focused on 24 when that picks back up in May. And so yeah, just putting that out there. The same team that brought you the Ichabod Cranecast will return for a 24 podcast untitled as of now.
Nice.
Will it be called the Swallow the Towel podcast?
We have a list of potential names that one of them will be chosen. I'm excited for any of these choices. So the image and theme song they'll have to create to make that work.
The Donald Sutherland hoarded all of the talent in that family podcast?
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
I know those are fighting words. Anyway, you can also follow us on Twitter at WDTV Podcast and at HHWLOD_network. And so until there's no more room in hell and Dead Walk the Earth, remember, even Norman Reedus screams like a girl. Have a good week, everybody. And next week, or on February 9th, it's not Walking Dead, not exactly next week, but close enough, you know, the episode will be entitled After. It will be directed by Greg Nicotero and written by Robert Kirkman. And here is the synopsis we have from AMC. As Rick deals with old wounds, members of the prison have to come to terms with their new environment and ask themselves if survival alone is enough. Have a good week, everybody. Testing. I've got waveforms.
So do I? Yes, I do.
This is the all sensual edition of the Walking Dead TV podcast.
How many Wolverines are we going to get?
I'd like to believe, Aaron, that question has nothing to do with X-Men and is a completely separate subject.
Yeah, I'm adopting
Way
baby
funny.
Wolverines. So I don't know how many we're going to get.
Honey, we can't fit any more Wolverines.
It's like, Oprah, you get a Wolverine, and you get a Wolverine, and you get a Wolverine.
Everybody gets a Wolverine.
Please do not feed me to the Wolverines.
Do you guys know the Weird Al song Albuquerque?
Not a fan.
It's weasels in the box, right? Not Wolverines.
Oh no.
You mean to tell me you guys haven't memorized the 11.5-minute long song by Weird Al?
I'm afraid not, no. The last Weird Al song I memorized, it was only because I really enjoyed it a lot, was White and Nerdy from Red and
I thought you were
Dirty.
going to say eat it.
No, come on.
Let's go with my Melodian.
Yes, I'm old. Ha ha ha. Okay.
No, I meant because you like go to restaurants and stuff. Like,
Well, that's it. Of course, when that came out, I mean,
The first one I mememorized was almost certainly Yoda, but after that it would be Albuquerque.
White and Nerdy.
if there was like a badass reveal of Nightcrawler as one of the covers, I'd be like, yes, and then I'd be satisfied. No,
You just pick up the magazine and there's no cover, and then all of a sudden he just bamps onto it.
yeah, it's a special hologram cover.
Would it be Alan?
No,
would it
it's
be
actually a
Alan
tiny Nightcrawler inside
time,
the magazine who busts through the cover.
It's like, surprise, Alan Cumming's back. I'm like, what?
Cummings? I could be down with that.
Even the cricket in the background agrees.
Yeah. That's I fed my tarantula recently. There's crickets in his cage.
Do you actually have a tarantula? Or is it
Yeah.
sarcastic?
No, I have a
That's
tarantula.
awesome. I did not know
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
yet.
anytime he was out now and you hear crickets in the background, it's because I recently fed my tarantula. That's literally what's happening.
See, whenever you hear crickets in the background here, it just means it's 3 degrees outside. There's crickets around.
Or it's a commentary on the quality of the show.
I learned so much from you guys.
I did not know that.
Out now secrets, right?
I did not know that.
Out now. Secrets.
There was something I was reading about about the Walking Dead version of Monopoly winning an award. I can't find it now.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Oh, I just saw that in the store because I forgot what Boardwalk was. That's like always the thing I check. I check for.
I was assuming the boardwalk would be the prison or the CDC.
It wasn't the prison. That's why I was surprised. It was something else.
Woodbury?
Maybe. Let me see.
The RV? Where would the RV be one of the pieces?
I got it right here. Oh yeah, it is something weird. It's like something safe zone.
I do hear crickets.
Yeah, there.
Yes, I was not hallucinating. It was not an oral hallucination. Even though I did eat a lot of birthday cake Oreos earlier. That's not causing me any strange effects yet.
Alexandria Safe Zone and the Hilltop Colony are the boardwalking.
Oh, okay, so it
Place.
goes that deep into
Goes that
these
deep,
comics.
Yeah. Yeah, Woodbury's got to be back somewhere else. Where would it be?
You have to like read a wiki down to play the game.
Or the
Like,
comics.
all the comics.
Oh, yeah, the prison's it's like right past where jail is, so it's like whatever that is. I don't know.
Oh, I guess they should have just made the prison jail. It seems like a missed opportunity.
Prison's a stronghold. You can't really land on jail. You can land in. It's not a bad place. Whatever. It doesn't matter. This is
Well,
Monopoly.
jail has the 2 tracks. It has the outer track and the inner track. What are the railroads?
Oh, that's a good question.
The utilities.
Okay, again. Let me look here.
I would assume it's zombie chest and
RV is Oh, they're all different things. There's RV, bike, horse, and truck. Those are all the railroads.
okay.
Nice.
The community, it's like there's scavenge and battery and supply chest and water. Water's like a water company. That makes sense. And battery's the electric company. Okay, that makes more sense.
Wait, the electric company pre or post Spider-Man?
During with Morgan
I was gonna
Freeman.
say with Morgan Freeman's easy reader.
Andy Dufresne
I'd love to pick up The Walking Dead with Morgan Freeman.
as Rick with no explanation.
Rick and Carl made it out of prison.
No, not narrating. Actually,
he'd be
him
Rick.
playing Rick,
Okay.
or even better, him playing Carl
Carl?
for no reason.
Dad, I'm gonna shoot him. Dad, I took the shot. I killed Jane. You shouldn't be
Did
upset.
you guys saw like the trailer for the Lego movie?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
With the Morgan Freeman
Batman
and stuff in it. Oh my god, that was hilarious.
They posted a new clip today, which is the introduction of Batman in the movie, and it was quite good.
Yeah, the Lego movie. Like I saw all that praise for the Raid 2 this week. I'm super excited for the Raid 2. That said, I think I'm still looking forward to the Lego movie more. That's how into the Lego movie. I am.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
That boy ain't right.
In a world.
But a new wind was about to blow. Payback. This time it's for real.
Our prisons are gone. The world is less free.
In a world with one less prison.
Okay. That was such a riff.
In a world. You know the funny thing is, I love those voices, but I detest trailers with voiceovers like that. Even though it's so fun to do, the moment I see a trailer for a movie that has that, I'm like, oh, this movie looks terrible. Even good movies that I've gone back and watched trailers for from like the 80s and 90s that have those trailers, I'm like, oh, this movie looks absolutely terrible because of the trailer.
I can agree with you to that to an extent. It depends on the movie for me. With that said, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the movie In a World.
Oh, with Lake Bell, I haven't seen it, but I want to.
It was on my top 10. It came out last week. I watched it again. I'm like, yep, this is why it was on my top 10 because I love that movie. I think it's just wonderful. It's very funny. It's very well written. It has got some nice satirical elements about the film industry and women's roles in that industry through
Right.
voiceover and stuff. It's very clever. I really recommend it heartily.
I got all excited when the Bruce Greenwood movie A Now Word from Our Sponsors popped up on Netflix because I thought it was that one. I had them confused, and that is just a dumb movie. But yeah, I still want to see I couldn't even finish it, which doesn't normally happen. I was like,
Comics, movies,